this video. Welcome, and thank you for following our journey to Saint Regis Fire Tower on Saint Regis Mountain. 20 years ago as a student at Paul Smith's, this was my very first Adirondack mountain climb, and from there, I was hooked on mountain summits. The Trailhead is located right down the road from Paul Smith's College. Kitty corner a few hundred yards from the intersection in New York 30 and New York 86, you will see Keys Mills Road. Take Keys Mills about 2.5 miles, and you will find a DEC parking lot on the left-hand side of the road. Once you leave the lot, you will cross the bridge over the St. Regis River. Take the red DEC trail on the right-hand side, and it will lead you to the trail register just inside the woods. As you begin along the trail, you will pass through a mature-looking wooded area with a generally flat trail the first mile. As you continue on the second mile, it's still pretty flat, with the trail hitting its low point at about 1.5 miles in. Shortly, you will come up upon a random metal pipe on the side of the trail. I'll explain the significance of this pipe more in a moment after I share with you some views up until reaching this landmark at about 1.8 miles in. Crawl down in there. I'll take your picture. Uh-oh. Ooh. Just be careful. Are ya? Sometimes it's easier. Look at that. You smoked me. And here it is, the pipe I mentioned. You may think it's an odd place for a pipe to be in the middle of nowhere, but it serves a very important purpose. It is the boundary marker between the Franklin County towns, Brighton and Santa Clara. After a moment checking out the property marker pipe, we pressed on to the point of the trail where it merges with the older trail that crosses the stream with the help of a wooden bridge, roughly at the 2.2 mile mark. Don't know. At this point, the trail for the first time starts to become steep. Lots of rock work and stepping stones, water rock bars, and rock cribs along the trail can be seen frequently now. All this great trail work has been put there by the Paul Smith's College forestry students. That nearly flat trail leading up to this point was a distant memory now at this point. Here's where you start to get the good cardio workout you typically get when hiking the Adirondack mountain trails. We continued pushing up the grade and working our way around rocks in the path, and eventually coming upon some really big boulders that were on the trail. We skirted around these boulders and continued on with our ascent. I was really starting to think at this point the trail gods were making me pay for those first 2 flat miles. More boulder obstructions. And one more time for good measure, let's pass through some more boulders. I could feel that we were getting close with blue skies peeking through in the distance. Passing through a fern-covered area, I came to a spot where there was a narrow overlook to the west when standing on the bedrock. I was so eager to get to the tower, I did not stay at the overlook very long and headed back up the trail.
Please.
Just a few steps and a turn to the left, it started to open up. Looking ahead in the distance, standing there was my old friend I had not seen since the fall of 1997, Saint Regis Fire Tower.
There she is.
At the top of the summit, I immediately noticed how much more grown up it was from the first time I was there, which I shouldn't be surprised with the long gap between visits. Though more growth is present now, the summit is still fairly bare, with a mixture of white mountain ash, fir, spruce, and birch trees scattered all around. The wide openness and tree species present can be attributed to clearing long ago by the high peak surveyors under fir plank Colvin. This was the first time that I was able to go up the tower. In fact, back in 1997, I remember it being in rough shape. Since my first visit, the DEC once had the tower on the list to be removed from the summit. Thankfully, because of the group Friends of Saint Regis and citizens' actions, the tower was saved and newly restored in 2016. Everything is in great shape now, and I was excited to rush to the top. The closest landmarks that I could pick out from the summit was the Saint Regis canoe areas, Upper and Lower Saint Regis and Spitfire Lakes. Some of the high peaks, McKenzie Mountain and the Sewer Range, are off to the south. Northeast, Loon Lake is visible, with Whiteface and Esther Mountain off to the east. After climbing in the cab, I took in views that were spectacular as I remember them years ago, and it felt good to reunite with my old mountain friend. Please feel free to like and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more Adirondack towers and high peaks. As always, I thank you for watching and hope someday you can go enjoy Saint Regis Tower and Summit as much as we did.